Welcome, everybody, to the next edition of Pack Talking with Ben and
Hey,
our friend Jairo. He
hello.
is the very first guest that is not in the dog industry per se, but I will say that out of everyone from TCW, I talk to him the most. I connect with him in ways that is crazy. Like I love this dude. He's like a brother to me. I love everybody at TCW, but I talk to this guy on a almost daily basis. We talk about the most deep philosophical thoughts that you can have about God, and we talk about politics, and we talk about all the stuff you're not supposed to talk about at parties.
Yeah.
And we get along great, and we have different opinions on several of things, but we can always get together and have just beautiful conversation. And this is my brother. I love this guy, Jairo Gonzalez. Welcome to the podcast, my
Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thank you for having me, guys. By the
Hey,
way, I love this guy's jacket. This is very Italian of you.
See his shoes.
Right.
Can we see your shoes? You have crazy shoes on right now?
Oh, they match.
He
They
has
just match.
sandals, bro. Oh, look at him matching. Look at this.
They
Look
match
at
the
this
jacket.
fucking guy. Wait, am I allowed to curse here?
You
Oh,
can
yeah.
curse, you can do
Oh,
whatever
look
you
at
want,
this
brother.
fucking
Come on, bro.
guy over here.
Well,
And look
this
at
guy.
Ben, you know.
I'm walking.
I'm
I
wearing
like
the same hat I wear everywhere.
Oh, this is how he lives, bro. I like Ben. He's like, I always felt like he was like the Post Malone of TCW. At first, you're not 100% sure, but if you listen to him for a little longer, you're like, he's a good guy, bro.
That's awesome.
He's
You
one of
know
the
what?
best.
I think Jairo is actually is like the first person that I ever when I was at training Caesar's Way that really helped me relax, helped me feel comfortable in myself, and I think I met him before Bobby and everybody. I think Jairo was actually the gatekeeper between you and between all the red shirts and everybody that worked there, and he was the one that gave me the green light to come over to the corner.
I'm like, come to me.
He knew. He
Nah,
saw it
he's
in
cool.
you.
This guy's all right. Yeah, it's the hair. It's the hair, you see?
Jairo, I
I
think
saw him and I got inspired.
It's funny
And I
because
let it grow.
Caesar used to call Ben Post Malone
For
before I
years.
guess he remembered his name. Like Caesar didn't remember my name for several years in the beginning too. So I was hey friend or hey buddy, like hey And so it was great. The first time he called me by name, I was like, he knows my name. It was hilarious.
I think Jairo is actually. I think he might know the students more than anybody
Anybody.
at the DPC or whenever they're there.
Period.
TCW, and he's got his hand in all the pots out there, making sure everyone feels good and is seen. I like that.
You
That's what I
bring
do.
an energy to TCW that is you just can't really explain it. It's there and it's beautiful, and well, because you have to get these people to come out of their shells for pictures. You have this way of just making people
It's like
feel
the
good.
first thing. Yeah, it's the first thing I have to do. So like when we're there, we have technically, I mean, it's 5 days, but technically 4 days, right? The first
Yeah.
day's a dinner thing, and then after that, we're going all in, right? So if you ever did like photography with any subject, like the subject itself has to be comfortable with you, or else the pictures come out weird.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So the first day, I try to meet basically everybody, and I try to maybe make like a little personal joke or something that'll connect us. And then after that, every time they see me, they're thinking about the joke or thinking about, and suddenly they're like laughing or, being happy. Or now they suddenly
Natural.
feel comfortable. Yeah, calling me over. Oh, let's take pictures of this. I'm like, yeah, let's do that shit. Make my job easier. You see what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
that's the way I try to approach them, because technically, I mean, like photography is super important, bro. Like those pictures that these people get, like, that's their profile pictures. That's their, like, they put it in their house. You know what I mean? People get them tattooed on, you know what I mean? Like crazy
It's their
shit.
memory, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy,
really
bro.
Huge,
It's
man.
crazy.
It's huge.
It's super cool.
Yeah,
Like, so
no,
I just want to
you
make sure at
are
least it's good.
dude, you are an integral part, bro. Like you bring something, a special sauce to the events that it's
It's
just
lost.
you are I love this guy, man. You are my
Oh, thanks,
brother,
bro.
dude.
By the
So
way, I'm not good at taking compliments, so I appreciate it.
Hey,
I'm
and he
learning.
might be the
I'm
hardest
learning
working one,
stuff.
bro.
Well, I run
Yep.
around a lot, bro, and I got bad legs, so yeah.
And you be working when we're all off work. You're not.
Oh no, yeah, I'm always working.
you're probably
He's
one of the
editing
hardest
the
working people
pictures
there.
when he's up there too, like, even in his hotel room, dude, he's because he has to have pictures for the, closing event, so he's constantly doing stuff, making it look good. Dude, you work hard, you bring this energy that everybody loves, bro. You are
No pressure though.
yeah. You're gonna give us the best
I'm a
podcast
completely
yet. You're gonna
completely
make it
messed up
go
the next
viral.
TCW just to like even it out. You know what I mean? I'm
That's
gonna get fired
awesome.
on the next one. Why
Yeah,
not?
right.
It's something
Well,
new. It's different.
yeah. You have been, like, doing, like, comedy stuff. Tell us about your connection to the comedy world and that.
Oh well,
A
like
while back. This
everything.
was
And look,
back in the
everything
past.
has. No, honestly, I still work with these people, bro. Because the thing
Okay.
about it is, yeah, everything is technically connected. You know what I mean? Like back in the days, I had a friend who got kicked out of his house. So his name is Franco Romero. He goes by Franco Harris online. It's comedy. If you wanna go check it out. But he basically got kicked out of his house. So like I'm like, don't worry about it, bro. Come stay with me. So like I took care of him for like, I don't know, like 5 years or some shit like that. So he just stayed at my house. Dude, literally half the time I just pay all the bills. I'm like, as long as you're comfortable, everybody's cool.
That's
So
awesome.
I did, yeah. So I did that for a long time and shit. And then when I left to California, he was like really heartbroken. He was like, oh shit, like this guy's dipping. And I always told him, I'm like, the best thing I could do for you is just leave you alone and you're gonna find something that you want to do because right now you're just hanging around. And so I just let him go basically. I'm like, dude, just go do something. So he's like, you know what, bro? I'm gonna be a comedian. I'm like, all right, cool, do that shit, right? So he
Yeah.
went and started doing comedy, and then he ended up touring and doing a bunch of fucking like comedy with a bunch of big people. So once he started touring, he hit me up. He's like, "Hey, bro, do you want to come like do photos for us and videos for us, and you can tour with us for a little bit?" So then I started doing that. So like, yeah, everything goes back. Everything that happens, I follow it like a trailer. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, that's so crazy that it got to that. Like, I just did this guy a favor because he's my friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna let my friend live in the streets, right? So took him in, and
That's
then
not just a
suddenly,
favor, bro. So that's like,
yeah,
a lot of people just let other people figure it out. They're like, "Yeah, well, they'll figure it out, bro." You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
no, no,
that was nah, bro. That's
no,
more
dude.
than just a friend, bro. That's like a brother, dude. So
Yeah, no,
you
he's
gotta
family. He's family to me. You know what I mean? And we went up touring. Who did we tour with? Um, I always forget. We toured with a bunch of rock bands, which I feel like I didn't deserve that. By the way, I felt like when I was over there and I'm watching these guys perform, I was just like, I don't deserve to be here watching Iggy
yeah, you
Pop
did.
and like all these hardcore rockers because I don't know enough about him. If it was like a Tupac concert, I would have been pretty happy, right? But bring him back to life and shit, and I'll tour with him. But like, you know what I mean? I wasn't raised listening to that shit. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. The Foo
song
Fighters, didn't you see
Foo
the Foo
Fighters.
Fighters?
Yeah, we're touring with Foo Fighters. Like, I'm literally hanging out with them, and I can't even remember their names. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, that's
And
because
that's
they're
this
not
is the problem. This is the problem, dude. I was hanging out on their tour, but like we're hanging out, drinking with them in the back and shit. Like, I met the drummer before he passed away. We're hanging out, like all that shit. By the way, real rock stars, bro. These people are serious, man. Like you meet
yeah,
some of these people, big people behind the scene. They're pretty interesting, you know. And the people that last a long time, they're always good people. And that's one of the things
yeah,
that I noticed from Cesar, because Cesar, like in the background, he's such an interesting guy, regardless. You know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah.
always
mhm,
teaching lessons and breaking things down. But then on the side, he's just like, hey, bro, I'm just a guy. You know what I
no,
mean? He's just like a
he's a
regular dude.
human
Hey, bro,
too.
let's have a drink and talk shit. Like, awesome. Like, do you
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? I think people they never get to meet that side of celebrities. And if they did, they would understand how, one, you can kind of be like that. You know what I mean? Because you and them, you guys are the same. You just have the work ethic, the habits, you know what I mean? And then the proper kind of like direction of where you're going. And Caesar knew that shit since he was like 7, which is crazy.
Yeah.
no.
Because right? Have you guys done anything like that when you're like when I was 7, I want to be a fucking transformer, you know what I mean? And the most I can do is be trans today, and that's not gonna work out for me, right? So I can't be I can't be Optimus Prime, you know what I mean? Or like
Uh,
He-Man and shit with the sword, bro. I
you
used
can
to
be
watch
feminist
Thundercats,
prime, I
bro.
guess. I don't know.
Yeah, hey, bro, you know. Hey,
Um,
2026, bro. Why not? It's a new
hey,
year.
it's a new era, bro.
I'm
I
down.
no judgment on anyone. That's just not my thing. But hey,
I
bro,
already got
if
the
that floats
hair.
your boat, that's cool, bro. That's just not.
You
I imagine.
necessarily my gig, but hey, man, if it ain't hurting nobody, by all means, bro. Wait, do you have Uzi with you?
Yeah, he's right here.
Let
He's
me.
chilling.
Can,
You
can
want
we?
to you want
Can
to
we
see him?
see? Yeah, bring
Yeah,
him
let me see
over,
if I can get
bro.
him over here. Get over here. He's like sleeping and shit. He's pissed off. Come on. Ah,
Get
look
over
at that.
here,
Look.
Uz. I gotta see you.
Uzi.
Hey,
Hey,
Look at that face.
Uzinator.
Bro, he looks concerned. He's like, what
how
is
old is he now?
happening? Bro, he's 8. He turns
That's
9 this year,
crazy.
man. Yes,
Yeah, Uz.
I've been dreading his age. I don't like him getting older. You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah,
it's part
that's
of
a,
it,
a
man.
real thing, buddy.
It
Yeah,
is.
I try to think about that. It is part of it, bro. Like, why? Like, if he lasted forever, he wouldn't be as important. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, isn't
Right.
it?
It
Yeah.
is exactly.
Yeah, I know you guys have all been through it, so
Yeah, me
I
and
don't know
Bobby
how you
are
did it.
again. Yeah, we. Oh well, you just do it, and you're sad, and you realize what's important in life, and it's time. You
Yeah.
know,
Well,
Father
hey,
time comes for us all.
Yeah,
yep.
that's true, bro.
He's
And
undefeated.
this is my cancer dog, bro. You know what I mean? Like I had cancer. Like this when it so like when I got cancer then with all that shit. Not that saying that I stopped caring about shit, but it changed my mind state. Something
Yeah,
happened there. Like where
you
it changed my
definitely had a
mind
little
state.
nihilist moment, kind of in
I
there.
never knew. I,
Yeah.
I
Maybe
I don't.
not
I don't
like
remember that.
nothing matters, but a
You I
little
never
bit
said
more
anything.
than you were. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
No, no, you're good. Yeah.
I just said I never knew that you had cancer. I won't even talk about it if you didn't want to. But yeah, I never knew that about you, man.
Yeah,
I never
yeah,
even went through that.
sometimes people get cancer and shit. And yeah, I went through that. Like I had issues. I won't get too much details and shit, but it was still weird. Like when I met you, there was weird things popping up on my lungs and weird shit like that. So I was just like, "Fuck, bro," We'll see what happens here. I stay positive, but I was already like I said I'd given up, but I've come to what's that word?
Acceptance.
That's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And when people die all the time. Shit happens. I had lost many friends. So I was like, all right, well, it is what it is. Maybe this is how my story ends. Maybe, I go from Florida, I move to California, I do all this cool shit, and then I die. And I'm like, all right, cool, then you're dead. And that's it. And I came to terms with that. I was fine with it. But when I got better, I was like, you know what? Like I'm watching all these dog people be happy, and I'm like, why you motherfuckers so happy, bro? Are you fucking happy with this dog? These people are spending so much money to make sure their dog's happy, and I'm like, I would never spend that shit on myself to make sure I'm happy. So I'm like, there must be something. And the thing about it is that in life you have to like like if you look at Viktor Frankl's book, remember I told you about this. This is a man's search for meaning, right? Like what he talks about is like this existential vacuum. He's basically talking about these guys are in the Holocaust because he was in the Holocaust. He was, he went through a couple camps, and while he was there, he's like, why are these people laughing and having fun? Because they were doing that. They were like, dude, like what would how can you have a joke come out of
Yeah.
your brain
The
How could you
indomitable
smile?
human
when your
spirit
family just got
the
murdered, and they
in the
shaved your
eyes of
head and put a
terror.
number on your arm,
Yeah.
and these people
Yeah.
are happy. And he's like, there's a existential vacuum where you lose everything and yet you can still find some sort of happiness. The way you find meaning through something is through suffering. And technically, even though people won't say it, technically having a dog is suffering at some points. You have to make sure you feed it. You have to take care of it. You have to sacrifice things for it. You have to go
Your
get money. You
time.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to do all these things.
Go to the vet and
And
do that stuff when it comes. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, when you put all that together, and then you're going to lose them. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of suffering involved in having a dog. And I'm like, that's where you find happiness through suffering. You want to know what you're willing to suffer for. You just had a kid. I'm sure you're willing to do anything for that child, but that child's always is going to be the top of your happiness too. They come
Yep.
together.
Yep.
Yep.
You see what I'm
They
saying?
do.
There's suffering in it
It's
though,
the
for sure.
attachment though that
A
causes
lot
the
of suffering.
suffering. I feel there's a way that we can still live a beautiful life, have a great relationships, but maybe not get so clinging to the attachment in a sense, and know that if realize that we're all gonna go, like, and that it's fighting it is you're fighting a losing battle. There's no way. No one is,
Acceptance, bro.
It's
right. So
hard to
you
do,
have to
man.
at one
Accept.
point accept it, that and people, they will not face death They will do anything to not face the fact that they're going to die. And it's one of the things that the Stoics like basically say is every day you should think for a moment that you're going to die and think am I living this day as if I'm going to die tomorrow? Because it could happen. You know what I mean? You don't know. So you got to try to make sure that you're not just on autopilot, but you're living a life worth living. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that it's all
it's
about being in the moment in a sense. It all comes back to the
it's the
power of
it's the memento mori, right? Remember death. That's what it is.
yes.
Like,
Yeah.
remember
That's
that. I
exactly
mean,
so.
all these
Memento
people
mori.
say it. I think who else was it? Making Friends. One of these fucking guys, right? I read a bunch of books, self-help books for the hell of it. I was on a kick. I went through like 10 in like a couple months. I swear to God, it was out of control. But there was one that I always explain, what is it? Start with the end in mind. If you're at your funeral, like what are people saying about you?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you think about stuff like that, and you're like, I think about that shit. I'm like, dude, like when Caesar passes away, which he
It's gonna
won't,
yeah, people are gonna be
but
yes. I'll
bro,
tell you this,
that's gonna
bro.
be so much people are gonna come by and be like, bro, this guy has helped me so much. It's like he's left shit that he couldn't do
He's
with
changed
money.
the
These are things
world.
that you can't purchase. You know what I mean?
But I guarantee you this, let me interrupt you for 1 second. The day you pass, bro, a lot of people are gonna be as soon as they realize it, they're gonna be very sad because dude,
I'll
you
be on a
touched
low low. I'm not gonna tell anybody.
you
I don't
you're
think
not
you
gonna
will.
tell
I don't think you'll
anybody?
be able to.
Yeah, I don't think I will.
Bro, you'll keep it a
No.
secret when you go?
Yeah. I'm not gonna tell anybody. But yo, look. That shit reminds me, like, look, when I was going through the cancer thing, like, I personally wasn't sad about it. Like, it was shocking. It like fucked with my head, but I was just like, still living life. And the worst part about having cancer is not the things that you go through, like the surgeries, all the medicine, all that shit. It's nothing about that. It's the people around you that, suddenly take more pictures with you.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? That suddenly want to be
Yeah,
like, they're suddenly like, hey, bro, like they feel a certain way about everything that's happening. And then the people that are really close to you that are sad about what's happening to you, you're just like, you have to watch them be sad. So if you know
yeah,
anybody with cancer and you just, I don't know, just be normal, help out how you
Yeah.
can, but just, you know what I mean? Just because you're already going through some shit and then other people are going, you're making other people sad inadvertently. Like you didn't want to do that. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So you're just doing it by mistake, by
Well,
being, which
because
is
people get
sucks.
caught in their own emotions about it, and they're not thinking about the other person in that moment. They're like, the thing is, people have the funeral because it's about them. You know what I mean? It's for the
Hmm.
people at the funeral. It's not about the person in the
Yeah,
casket.
that
It's
guy's
about
dead, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
but not only that, but it's about them being able to grieve. You know what I mean? To let
Don't
it
laugh
Yeah.
about that. That's
to
not funny.
close.
Dead people are
It's a
not funny,
closure
bro.
thing. What happened?
Dead people are not funny, bro. Stop laughing.
There's some
Hey, bro,
there's
I
some
Eh,
can find humor in anything, dude.
oh
I'm
yeah,
the worst,
yeah. I
bro.
guess you
Got
slip
some
on a
dark
banana peel and shit, like some dumb shit.
hey, that's what they say, a man slips on a banana peel, it's humor. If he falls down a manhole, it's like drama or like, you know what I mean? I forget there's a saying that goes like that, but that
I'm not good at idioms. I'm not good at sayings like that. You know what I
I
mean? Like
I blew that one.
catch
It's all
two
right.
birds with one cup. You know what I mean? So like, I don't get that. Those things don't like lock in.
I can catch my bird with
Yeah.
a cup.
Listen, bro. Listen. It just.
You know what birds are in English, right?
Uh,
In England, they call girls birds. So when you say two birds, what?
oh, I see. I see. I see.
God, Bobby.
Jesus Christ, boys. This is
Hey,
about
you said
dogs,
it, not me,
right?
bro. You said it, not me. It just made me think about it, bro.
I just
Sorry.
look. I'm bad at idioms, bro. Look. I learned English, bro. Like my parents weren't there sitting like saying stuff like that. That I'm like, oh, I get it. Like no, I had to learn
Mhm.
that shit afterwards. And people would just say something, and I'm like,
On
I don't know what the fuck.
TV or
Yeah,
like
like
by
what are
your
these people
friends.
saying exactly? You know what I mean? Because those things don't connect.
Yeah.
Like idioms don't connect sometimes, and you gotta sit there and be like, what the fuck what are you trying to tell me? Are you offending
You
me,
were
bro?
born in the DR, right? So
No,
tell us.
I was born in New York, and then I was taken to DR right away
Oh,
because
really?
Oh, that's
I didn't know
okay.
that.
Okay, so you're born in New York and then you flew into DR
I
and
made it.
lived there for
Yeah,
For how
Yes.
long? How long did you live there until you moved to
So
the
in the Dominican
States?
Republic, I went back and forth. So I stayed there. I think till second grade, and then I came to America like in second grade and started doing like my second grade here, and then
You moved to like
the
the Boston
second,
area,
third,
right? Or
fourth, yeah, to
Massachusetts?
Massachusetts. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Salem in the Witch City, bro.
Ooh,
Imagine how trippy
really?
that is. Yeah, you go. Imagine going from like Dominican Republic. First, I went to New York and I stayed there for like 3-4 months, and then I went to Massachusetts. And it's like imagine as a kid coming from a third world
Wow,
country
what a
where people are
difference,
like,
right?
yeah, where people are like, yo, there's like witches and shit, and they're like, these motherfuckers are serious about their witches. Like, there's literally statues of witches everywhere.
The capital of the country.
I bet Halloween is wicked there.
Oh, dude, a whole month. Yeah, if you look, you guys want to go check it out, bro. I still have a bunch of family out there. You go out
Okay.
there. It's for the whole October. October is all Halloween for them.
Oh,
So
I
you
bet,
start
dude.
October 1st, and it's just the whole downtown. We live next to the downtown, where they used to hang the witches and all this shit. Like there's like a little hood next to the downtown, right? Like in most downtowns, right? And
Yeah.
it's called the Point, and that's where basically where like drugs and shit move and stuff like that. So we were raised there. And I was lucky because I was there and I could just walk and go to the downtown and be like in this freaking place that has, all stone floors and all this. I was like, whoa, look at this fucking thing. This is crazy as hell.
Old money.
Yeah,
Dichotomy, the
dude, I was
difference.
lucky, bro. I was lucky, man. Because like I said, I have people that I was raised with. I have already 2 of them are in for homicides. You know what I mean? So like my best friend passed away. Like my cousins all got locked up. It was just a constant because of that neighborhood. But a couple things that I was lucky about. One, I moved out and came to Florida, which was good. But before that, when I moved to Massachusetts, I went to a school that was fully bilingual. So like Massachusetts, a very like liberal state, you know what I mean? So what they did was they had one school and they knew all these kids from these neighborhoods were going to the school. So they made it half in English and half in Spanish. So all the American kids learned how to speak Spanish and all the Spanish kids learned how to
Nice.
speak English.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
yeah, so they can go to my house and talk to my mom, and my mom felt comfortable with me going out and going
That's
to a birthday
awesome.
party. Do you see
Super
what I'm
lucky.
saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
shit like that. It was just by luck. There was literally, I never forget that shit. There was 9 schools over there, like 9 elementary schools, and mine was the only one that did that. It was just a coincidence. That's why I ended up. It was called Federal Street School, and because of that, I learned English. You know what I mean? And I was able to like be a person like that. Like if people
It
just
it
did
might
shit
it
more like
might have
that,
been
it'd be good.
fate. It might have been fate.
Hey man, there's a lot of people that just didn't do it, didn't get to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Exactly, and you
Yeah.
got it. It was
Lucky is
exactly what
right.
you
A lot of
needed.
my friends never got out. You know what I mean? My friend, dude, I can tell you horrible stories, but this is not the podcast for it.
Might be.
Well, we can get back to other stuff, but
Yeah.
okay, so you could, how about tell us about when you went to Puerto Rico with, Cesar and is that where he found Sophia at that time?
Yeah, actually we went to so the story with Puerto Rico was it was basically a trip that these guys are just gonna do to go help out after Hurricane
When it was
Maria.
after a super big hurricane, right?
Yeah, Hurricane Maria. I forgot what year, 2017. I forgot what year it was. But we
Mhm,
went out there, right? Like it was a situation where I wasn't gonna go or Adam. Neither of us
mhm.
were going. And they told me, oh, they're going to go to Puerto Rico. I'm like, yo, send me out there too. I'm going to go document everything that they're doing. And they're like, no, we don't really have money for that right now. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, look, I'll pay for my ticket and I'll volunteer to go. And bro, this is like literally rent money that I was shooting at
Yeah.
this. I was just hoping for the best, you know what I mean? But I thought it would be a cool experience. So I'm like, I threw rent money at it, got a ticket, and they're like, yo, if you get a ticket out here, like we'll have a place to stay. So then you have that, and then we can run around together and take pictures and do videos. So then we went out there and did that. And when we went out there, there was literally like most lights were off, like like no electricity
No, like
anywhere. There was some. So I've been to Puerto Rico before, and one of the things that tripped me out was that there was no dogs in the street. Right?
Oh,
There
really?
was 0 dogs. Yes, because what happens when the hurricane came through, the dogs know, so they start going uphill. So they start going into the
you go to higher
mountains.
ground, yeah.
But 2, the water that came up took out everything.
Everything that was in low
No
level.
more dogs left.
Yeah.
So yeah. So then when we went out there, it was like I said, there was no electricity. Everything was pretty much destroyed. They
Who
went
all
out there.
went? It was
Steve,
Steve,
Yoa, and Art.
Yoa. Well, Yoa's there. Art.
Yeah, and
Did Art
Art.
go?
Yeah,
And then you and Adam and Caesar.
and
So
me
it
and
was
Adam.
six
Exactly. It was
people,
just 6 of
right?
us
Okay.
rolling around, causing
That's
chaos.
dope.
But they went all
Yeah.
like, bro, they were cleaning up shit, everything. They were doing everything that you have to do. You know what I mean? They were helping out. They don't care that they're like big trainers. They go out there like, bro, let's clean all this crap up. Let's take care of all this stuff. And they just did their thing, which is
Putting
awesome.
in the work.
But yeah, put in work. And we went to so we went to the sanctuary. So this lady, this little old lady, bro, probably like 80 years old. And she had a place for about 200 dogs, and she had over 800.
Jeez.
Damn.
And they're all just running around too.
Mm-hmm. They were the way they were doing it is like they had all the cages, all the stuff like set up. Like they're pretty nice place, by the way. But they had all the cages. They had X amount of dogs in there, but then like the rest of it, they had to like just let them out. So the lady, what she did was she had like her house was like 2 floors, and what she did was she put all her bed and all this stuff in the corner of the house and built herself a mini house in the house, and then filled the rest of the house with dogs. So she was literally down to like living in a corner of her house with just the whole area filled with dogs, puppies downstairs, everything. And the only way she could maintain it, she got in contact with the veterinarians out there, the ones that like the veterinarian school. I had the students come in and like take care of the dogs and help her out. But she's like, bro, I'm too old. And she was so realistic, bro. She says, I'm too old and I'm going to die soon. I know this for a fact. I can't take care of these dogs, and I'm concerned that when I die, nobody's going to take care of these dogs. And he goes, and then my mission would just go to shit, basically. So she passed away a couple years back, and I'm not sure where they ended up, but I think that a lot of those people took over that place and continued helping. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah, but
How did Caesar find Sophia? All is done.
I don't remember how I think we went to, I forgot how that worked out because we saw a lot of dogs when we were out there. So he didn't like pick up Sophia right there in the spot. He went and we worked with a bunch of dogs, and he saw her and he really liked her. He liked her energy, because you know how Caesar is. And Caesar's immediately, it's just energy. And he's like, this dog, bro, this dog is something else. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I believe
For
some
him to
famous people.
compliment a dog, it's big, dude. He's just like sees so many of them. He's like, man, whatever. Dude, and he was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
By the way, what I haven't told you, bro, the first thing I've ever heard Caesar said a lot of funny shit, right? But the funniest thing I've ever seen Caesar say, and this is one of like the first, it was a Fundamentals 2, the first one I was at. And we were bringing in those dogs, you know, they bring these dogs from, what is it? These dogs that need
Shelters.
they need like, shelter dogs and stuff like that. They need homes. And they brought them in, and they're coming in one by one. And Caesar's looking at it, oh, cool. And then he looks at this one dog, and the dog walks in, and he has the body of a Chihuahua, but the head of a pit bull. And he looked at it, and he's like, what the hell is that? And then he's like, all right, good. Next dog. When the dog whisperer looks at your dog and goes, the fuck? That right there is the funniest shit I've ever heard him say, by the way.
That's
yeah. So you know what I'm saying?
How did you get involved with Caesar and all that? How did you land your position, I guess?
Everything's always a long story, but I'll try to keep it short. But
Sorry
basically,
don't worry about it. That's why we have this long form podcast, dude.
Nice.
We're here for
basically, it has to do with Adam. So what happened to me was I moved to California because a friend of mine said, hey, come to California. You know, like we don't know anybody here. It'd be awesome if you're out here. I was tired of Florida, so I moved out to California. A longer story to that. But I moved out to California, hanging out with her. She passes away in a plane crash.
Oh, no.
It's crazy, right? So my homegirl passes away, so I'm all heartbroken. So I'm being a crazy person. So now suddenly I'm just leaving in the middle of the night and going to places. I'm driving into LA just by myself, finding things to do. Like I just kept my mind busy. So I met a singer, and she said, I'm going to be recording some music. And I said, all right, cool. I'm going to go watch you recording music. And I went over there, and Adam was recording the music, right? Really? So Adam was, you know, we're all thug life at the time, right? So we're just running around causing chaos, right? So Adam's out here just freaking, you know, doing his thing over here. And I'm like, bro, like, Like, oh, you do music? You go, I do music too, bro. I rap in Spanish because I used to rap in Spanish. I used to make
Still.
music and everything. Yeah. So I was like, bro. So I'm like, so what's your deal? He's like, oh, I'm literally living out of a garage, like just making music and trying to make it. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll come by and hang out. So that we started hanging out, And one day he's like, hey, bro, I'm doing all the audio stuff for Cesar. If you want to come by and help me, well, come and help me out. I just need to move speakers and stuff. I'm like, yeah, bro, whatever makes money. Whatever makes money, let's
Absolutely.
go. So this is what I have. And I was already a little nutty at the time. So I'm like, I gotta go. So I go, boom. And I help him out with that. And then I ended up meeting Kim, and she's like, oh, you're a photographer? I'm like, all right, cool. And one day she hit me up and she's like, send me your portfolio. And I showed her my pictures and she's like, yeah, you want to come and do TCW? And ever since I started doing that, I've just been doing it ever since.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's
It's a short version.
Fate.
I did not know that Kim Glass
Destiny.
was the one that gave you the nod there and
Mhm.
said, "Oh, you should come and do the pictures for us." I didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that Adam had suggested that my boy does photography or something, and
Possibly.
that's how.
Possibly.
Okay.
I mean, because when I went out there and I met her there, and Adam had mentioned he does photography. That's when Adam mentioned it to her, because I wasn't out there like looking for
Yeah,
anything else.
yeah.
I'm just here to help, bro. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You know, hear a funny story though.
Go for it.
So I'm talking to Adam and I'm like, Cesar Milan? I'm like, isn't he gay? He's like, Cesar? And he's like, he was like married with kids. I'm like, you could be married with kids and be gay. I'm just saying because I always saw him and he was like, he dressed really nice and stuff. And he's like, hey, what's going on with your dog? Hey, there's something about it. I was like, is he gay? And then the funniest thing happened, right? So now I'm hanging out with them for like a year or something like that. And Cesar finally talks to me. Cesar's like, hey, quick question. And he looks up to me, bro, that's serious. He goes, are you gay? And I'm like, he did some jujitsu shit on me, bro.
He said,
This whole time. Yeah, and I'm like, look, I can totally see it, okay? So I'm like, I get it. I'm like, listen, I get it, okay? I'm very flowery. I make my pictures. I mean, I'm that, so I get it. You know what I mean?
Your pictures like that.
Yeah. I go, bam and bam. And I'm like,
so
what the
good.
hell?
That's so good, dude. You do take your pictures like that. I did not realize that until you said that right now. It's so good.
I'm very
my God.
flowy.
You do, and the way you walk kind of sometimes is a little, it's exaggerated.
Yeah. I love, yeah. I do. I'm entertainment, bro. I entertain
and I never
these
thought
people.
Cesar was gay. It never even occurred to me, but people have thought that, and I was like,
yeah. I was like,
if he is, like, I don't know. I don't think so, but well,
he was from the era where people were doing like the like during the time that he was on TV. Like the whole like metrosexual shit was going on where people are doing their eyebrows, looking good. Like guys are out there looking good. And I'm from the hood, bro. I'm like, anybody trying to do their eyebrows and shit must be gay. This is my head. You know what I mean? But I was completely wrong. And he was probably more right. No, I'm just kidding.
That's awesome. I like that you play with that.
No, it's freaking great, bro. It just caught me off guard. It was hilarious.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but tell us how your connection to the country club and all that.
Wait, over here? Country Inn?
Country Inn.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry.
So Country Inn is the Dog Psychology Center of South Florida. So it's the only other place that Cesar has given the approval to basically represent him. When it comes to Country Inn, so Country Inn is a really, really cool place. But basically, what happened with Country Inn, I came down here to do a TCW, and they were like, hey, like they saw me doing the photography, and they're like, hey, do you want to come and work with us? Can you come out here and take pictures and stuff? I'm like, well, I live in California, like it's okay, you can fly down. So I was doing that for like a year where I would fly down, spend like a couple months down here. I have my family here, so it's fine, So I come down here, spend a couple months, take pictures for them, come back and go. But then what happened was COVID happened. Right. And then basically I just ended up kind of like stuck down here in a sense. You know what I mean? I was just like, all right, well, yeah. And then I started doing a bunch of shit, started businesses and shit. And then I just did that. But Country Inn is special because I don't know, like, I would like to tell you that you guys gotta come down here and check it out. But
I do want to go there. Yeah.
It's completely built with dog psychology in mind. So there's no dogs facing each other. So the way everything is set up, like, I don't know if it needs to be, yeah, it's like
Like
there's a
angled or
trail in the
something
middle.
kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah, everything's like boom. So all the dogs are here. You have a hallway here. You have other dogs on the other side. So everything is set up in a certain way. All the dogs are brought out by energy and size. So they do assessments of their energy before they put them in a group. And that's how they know which one would work out with who. So their groups of dogs would be, 7, 8, 10 dogs. And down the street they have another dog place. These guys have like 100 dogs out there just running amok, and sometimes dogs get hurt in that process, right?
yeah,
So you got to
part of
add
it.
dog psychology and fix it. Yeah. So they do a lot, bro. They're really really awesome. Monica and Bruna own the place. Brazilian ladies, they're the best in the
Mhm.
biz, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want
yeah.
to go down there for sure.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
I gotta check that place out. Maybe one day I'll do a TCW down there and just kind of and I just wanna come visit you, bro, and hang
Yeah,
out
no,
with
just
you.
come by and hang out. I take you out there. We'll do that whole thing. Just go
Yeah,
out there and run amok.
you're in the pawn shop industry out there, right?
Yeah, I
How'd you
saw.
get into that venture?
Can I bring out guns here? Or I'm not allowed to, right?
Sure, I don't
You're
care.
good,
Your
brother.
dog's name is Uzi,
Yeah.
so there you go. Yeah. I
Yeah, there you go.
mean, what is that?
Hey,
Is that the
strapped.
9?
Yeah, this
Is
is
that a 9?
that's a SIG, the Spectre Comp 9 mil. It's a really nice gun, bro. It's very fancy.
Yeah,
Looks like for
you're
the street.
yeah, when you collect, you have, like, some pretty nice pieces, correct? With
Yeah,
your gun?
yeah. I don't, and you know what's funny? I'm not even like a big gun guy. I don't really care that much. I just kind of run into it. I got into jewelry, and I kept doing my photography stuff, but I started jewelry business with my brother, and we were going out here to Miami to get Cubans and stuff. And since
Cuban
I
links, which
know,
are, like, a
yeah, big
certain type
Cuban,
of
yeah, Cuban links, a type of chains and stuff. And since
mhm.
we know a lot of people out here, we immediately just got into selling big chains to, like, you know, street people, let's say. And we started selling big chains, and within like a year and a half of doing that, we bought a pawn shop, and we just started doing that. Like we bought the pawn shop, bought my mom a house because she was running around without a house, and so basically just like
That's
everything,
awesome.
dude. Yeah, all those things, honestly, bro. Like I don't like me personally. I don't really care for myself. It's just like after all the cancer shit and all the stuff, I know that like your way to happiness is just helping other people, being good to other people. And that's it. There's really, I mean, what else is there, right? You
Yeah,
can
I
try to
like
buy
that.
a bunch of cool shit for yourself. It doesn't really change anything in your life if you get bored of it fast. You know what I
Yep.
yeah,
mean? Like
my
I get bored
gosh,
of it,
yeah,
change and stuff. I get bored of that shit quick as hell.
so quick.
But like giving my mom a place to live, and she's like super happy that she feels stable, now that she's in
Mhm.
their 70s. It's like
I'm
that's a
sure she's
plus.
proud of you
You're
too.
giving her
Yeah.
more than just the house, you're giving her a feeling of security, bro. That's really, like, what you're selling, to her, like, not you're not selling, but you know what I mean? What
Yeah.
you're providing in a sense. It's this stability that, yeah,
Yeah.
is
It's a
super
dude, look,
important.
people and dogs are not that far off. That's a lot of shit that I've learned from, like, Caesar stuff. It's, like, the simplicity of, like, the animals, not to me, remember, I'm an atheist, I don't remember that shit. We are animals, right? And to
Yeah.
me, we're, like, the same, we're just smart animals. That's our evolution. But, we have a lot of things that we share at our base, And you have to have physical activity. You have to have, like, family and people around you. You have to have a community. You know what I
Purpose.
mean? Yeah, and you
Mhm.
have to feel comfortable and stable because people that are unstable do crazy shit. And Caesar said one time, one of the things that Caesar said that really got me was he said, boredom is dangerous.
Mm.
See, boredom is dangerous. When people are bored, they have a tendency of doing a lot of things that they shouldn't do. People that are bored end up getting into drugs, getting into drinking, trying to find a place to kill that boredom. And sometimes it comes out in very negative ways. You see what I'm saying? So if you can
I
kill your
think though
boredom,
that I think that boredom is something that we need to be able to be comfortable with though and have
mhm,
in our society because our movement
mhm,
away from boredom is go to the phone and just stimulate, 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 and then
mhm.
our brains become these like we need stimulation all the time, or we like our dopamine levels get all messed up. You know what I mean? Because we're just
Hypnotized us.
yeah. So we
Yeah.
need to be able to be comfortable in boredom, and I think I think boredom with the wrong mindset is dangerous, but I think boredom
Yeah.
itself is necessary. It's
Oh,
something that
it's necessary. It makes you move. Do you see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
when you're bored, it makes you do something, right? But
Yeah.
if once you start doing positive things, you're not bored anymore. You're good, right? You're
your
doing
purpose
something.
is
But some people, they just immediately go to, hey, bro, like, hey, you go to my country, bro. Like people out there in Dominican Republic, they're broke, they're bored. It's cheaper for you to get a beer and stand in a corner and just talk with people. At least you get like the social part of it, and you get to go have fun. So they're doing a lot of negative, well, a lot of positive things in a negative way, which is they're socializing
mhm,
and stuff. That's why people ask, when people ask like, "Oh, what would you tell a kid if you wanted to?" I'm like, "Bro, learn how to have fun in a positive way." You know,
yeah,
that's like, do you see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they don't learn how to have fun in a positive way. So me being from South Florida, like over here, the joke is like, oh, somebody tells you, I'm 41, bro. Somebody tells me, "Yo, you wanna go to a club?" I'm like, "Bro, this shit we used to do when we were 16."
I wanna go to bed,
Yeah.
bro. I ain't going to
Yeah,
a club.
yeah. I'm not gonna go
The
party, bro. Like, what? That's stuff for kids, bro, that we used to do that back in the days. So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
people over here, this is the like, Broward County, where I'm from, is where the pill mills came out of. This is where
Yeah.
all the Oxycontins, all the weird stuff came out of it. So everybody that I
Yeah.
knew was selling drugs or moving something and doing negative
Addicts,
things. They
maybe.
weren't they're not doing anything positive with their boredom because of their
Mhm.
surrounding because of your surroundings. But
The
if you can just
environment.
surround yourself and change your environment, then your boredom could become something positive. But
Right,
it's
right.
hard where you're living in it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
yeah. So don't let the
so the
boredom get
boredom
you. You know?
plus the right environment then, let's say, is
Yeah, I would
something
agree.
that is we need to be able to have that because we're moving faster and faster away from that, and I don't think that's necessarily where we need to end
Hmm.
up.
And you know what? I have this idea. Like, look, technically, like I always say, like boredom. I say there's like two types of boredom. One boredom is like, what are you doing with your life? There's something there, right? Another type of boredom is that, like, I'm standing in the bank and I got nothing to do, and I'm gonna pull out my phone and look through it. So that
Yeah.
boredom, the boredom of standing in line somewhere really doesn't exist. You can pull out, your algorithm of your social media and find all the funniest things you've ever seen in your life. 'Cause I send you a lot of it. I we
Mhm.
send each
No,
other
I send
shit
you
all
way
day,
more, but yeah.
24/7. We're like, "Yeah, check this shit out, check this shit out." Like, you're like, "I saw
You
that
get
one."
the
I'm like,
brunt
"Look
of
at it
most of my
again."
memes. Get the most memes. Maybe my brother gets more than you, but that you are like right there, always
Yeah,
top
yeah.
of the list of
It's
who's
a
getting meme
competition,
money.
bro.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you're winning,
yeah.
bro. You're if that's what you Art has told me, bro, it's too much, so I have to like pull back off of art
Yeah,
a little
alright. Nah,
bit.
I'm
Like
like, "Bring 'em
I
in,
just
bro.
give
I'll
him more
watch them."
specific ones once in a
Yeah,
while, and
I allot
you know,
time of my day specifically to look at the memes and go through them because I don't wanna send him the same one back because then he can get
exactly.
offended, right? Because then I didn't see it. But then sometimes this is what happens. I forget I'm looking at his feed and I'm going through the memes. I'm like, "Oh, Bobby would love this one." Send. And it's like whoop, whoop, right next to each other. It's like, "What
Right
are we
next to each
doing,
other.
bro?"
Well, plus our
But you're not looking at
algorithms
my
probably
shit. I'm like,
sync
"I
up.
am, I am."
We watch a lot of the same stuff anyway, so I think that our algorithms, even like you're just popping up on the same video, even without me sending it to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I look.
And if I
I make sure
like
to like
it
the
or
videos.
something,
Make sure to like the
yeah,
videos because I can see when you like it, so I don't send it again.
yeah, yeah, I do, and I do the same thing. If I see that you liked it, I won't send it to you. I'll try not to
I like
repeat fucking.
fucking heart.
It's like, yeah, but I was like, damn, I wanted to send. I was the first person I was thinking of sending it to, and they've already liked it. Damn it.
Sometimes
Uh,
I'll look through some of those videos, reels, and I'll see like a real weird or dark one. I see Jairo liked it and commented on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is
Or like that.
awesome.
Like we're
Oh,
on
I
the
love
same
watching
wavelength.
people die.
I don't usually watch those ones, but I
I get
watch
dark.
the
I
dark
watch the
humor.
dark one sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
try not to. Not
Like
the dark
You you
ones. I
know you
try
know what's a real trip you guys talk about boredom is having a kid is not boredom, but right now when he's 8 months old, there's so much waiting. You're just waiting for the next bottle. You're waiting for him to go to bed
bunch of
and
hurry
you
up
know
and wait.
yeah,
hurry up and wait.
and I used to have a lot of things I used to go out and do before my child, and now that I have him, all those other things that I used to do, and now I'm on a wait game. I'm in that waiting room just waiting
You're on
a
call,
lot.
bro.
What was
That's what
that?
it is. You're on call.
I know it's a different way of life. I'm sitting
Mhm.
with the boredom Bobby's talking about as well, where you have to sit with boredom and also be content.
But hold
Yeah.
on. Okay, so both of these things, like you were talking about being in line at the bank and this and that. Sometimes being in line at the bank, you might notice something that you have a problem that you're mulling over all day, and someone behind you in line says something that is like, "Oh shit, that was the answer to my problem," but you were too busy looking at your phone to hear. I think that sometimes the universe is trying to tell us little things. I know Jairo's gonna look at me like I'm crazy as a loon, but I do believe that the answers to our problems are being whispered to us if we're paying attention. And that's
Yeah.
why that boredom is important, to be able to sustain being bored and still being like, I don't need a dopamine hit of looking at my phone in this moment. And don't get me wrong, I love the reels, I love sending them, I love receiving them, but there's I do it for a specific time, and then the rest of the day I'm trying to be like, I'm walking the dog and I'm
In
trying
the
to look
moment.
loud. I'm trying to smell I'm trying to be real connected to my senses so that I'm in my
You know what?
body.
You know what's crazy is when you have a baby, they don't want you on the phone at all. Like,
Mhm.
it's the worst thing ever, bro. When I'll say I'm looking at a message or something like that, and my kid, he'll be staring at me. I'm like, oh hell no, I gotta put this down. Like, hey man,
Uh-huh.
what's up?
It's the new
It's
smoking. You don't wanna do it in front of your kids, bro. Like, you know
it
what I
is,
mean?
bro. It's crazy.
Do you
Hey,
wanna
they
give
know.
your kid a phone eventually? Like, I mean, like, what age would you say?
I don't know. I think when I decide to give him a certain level of freedom where we want to get in contact with him.
Get them
Yeah.
a flip phone or
Flip phone.
something
Oh yeah,
until
we're already
Give
on
'em a
that.
flip
He's
phone.
gonna
until
like Snake.
16. Bro,
He's gonna
like,
like Snake.
after 16, it's I think your brain is a little bit more developed enough, but there's studies of, like, little young kids with phones, dude, their brains don't develop properly.
Bro, we try not to watch
Like,
TV with him in there. So like I'm
yeah, well,
sitting in
I
a
was fucked on that one.
quiet
I was
room
raised
sometimes.
In a quiet room. Hey, this guy's doing more meditation than you, bro.
I
who?
Depends
know.
on it.
You know you know
Yeah.
what's real funny? That's when Caesar like
Nice.
started to
I
do
do
that
meditate
noble
every day, though. I do meditate every day.
Yeah, he
Every morning
meditates
with
by
my Vision
force.
forced
Pro.
meditation. You ever try to put a baby to sleep?
Well, if you realize everything we're doing is a meditation on something, like if you're like most people are meditating on how to make money come to their bank account some way or another. Like, and everything is a meditation though. Like when we prepare a meal, that's a meditation on making that meal in a sense. If you're really in the moment, kind of living in your body and experiencing it in a sense. I think that the more autopilot though we get, we're not thinking about stuff, and I'm thinking about this other thing while I'm making this my meal or something. We're not truly experiencing what we really should be experiencing. Like that's why the dogs are so great, because they can't not live in the moment, and they are our constant reminders to, hey, attention, bro, like we did in the
Hey, you know
podcast.
what's even more? Goddamn child, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
a
I
dog you
can't
can
stick
like
my child in a crate, you know what I mean, and go to dinner, you know?
it's similar. It's just a lot different. There
You
like
have to
he
have a
is.
babysitter, you know what I mean? You have to, but you
Who do you want to
still need
babysit your
to
kid?
your mom or something, or like
That's an
for a
option.
little bit,
That's an
or
option.
your
Yep.
sister, or sometimes you take the kid and your wife gets to go out and do stuff.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes your wife
yes,
takes the
definitely.
kid, you
Yeah,
get to go out
teamwork.
and do
It takes
stuff.
a village,
But
boys.
you need
It
to
does
make
take a
sure that
village.
you're also filling your own cup, because if you don't, you can't fill your kid's cup, bro. Like, you
I
know what I
also
mean?
just think that it's that you don't always get those opportunities to have someone else help you and you just gotta sit there with silence
That too.
or just be in the moment with him and be happy go lucky and just and be goofy with him, you know? But
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, there's
That's
something
probably a
beautiful
good
about
time though.
living
That's
in
probably
that
like super
goofiness.
dope.
It's super dope. It's super dope. Then you're the goal is to not let my problems, because 'cause I'm still growing up. I'm 35 and I'm not, not that young or that old, but, I don't want my problems to go off onto him. So you're always having to at times, it's not deal with your problems, man. You just gotta worry about him. It's a
You
crazy
just
trip.
Yeah, I think
just
that's a
try to
lot of
do the
things.
best you can for yourself, I think, and that will help your
Yep.
son, bro.
That's all it is, man. You just gotta be grateful. It's the same stuff that, Jairo was saying earlier when he had that, you know, the scare of cancer and how you just had to accept acceptance. That's why that word is on the tip of my tongue.
Acceptance,
I'm in a
bro.
I'm
There's
in a
a
big state of acceptance.
dude. I was telling Bobby that I go to Dominican Republic, right? Doing some soul searching. You know what I'm saying? What no soul. So that's why you gotta look for it.
No
But
soul.
that's what you gotta look for it, right? So like I go to Dominican Republic, right? I like to go over there and I go and spend a lot of time with my dad. He's still out there. And my dad's like one of the most interesting people I've ever met. He's completely fucking insane, but he's really, really interesting because he does shit that and this is probably why I am the way I am, but he does shit that almost doesn't make sense, but it's still the right thing. Right. So like for example, like Dominicans and Haitians don't get along, right? Technically, because that's the way it goes. But at the same time, if you go over there, they're like, oh, those are our Haitian brothers because we share an island, so we have to get along, right? So they
Yep.
have that side. So there's a lot of Haitian guys over there that are basically like living in like a construction side, building little houses on the side of hills. Like they don't have anything and they go out and try to make money doing whatever they can and all their kids, some of them go to school, some of them don't. A lot of times they don't have food, so they like eat like basically nothing. Like, and my dad sits there. My dad basically has adopted like 13 of these kids. So all these kids come by. He'll have like he doesn't have a lot, my dad, but he'll have like one bicycle. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, you guys, we're gonna fix this bike up. You guys can share this bike, but once you're done riding, you have to bring it back. And all right, cool. And they all take turns riding a bike because it's the simple things. You know, they don't have phones, they don't
Yeah.
have anything. All they're doing is literally living in the moment. And my dad does this thing where it's like he's broke, you know, but he'll go out and find money doing something, right? Oh, let's do these moves. This guy needs to get this, blah blah blah, some Dominican Republic type shit, and he'll get,
Hustling,
you
bro.
know, he'll make let's say $50, right? All right, well, $50 over there can feed you for like 3 days, bro. Like you can get food for like 3 days for him to eat there, hanging out. But what does he do? He just buys everything of food on that day. He makes all the food on that day and then just gives it away to all the kids.
Hmm.
And his wife will flip out and tell him, "It's like, bro, what are we gonna do tomorrow, though?" He goes, "We'll figure it out tomorrow, but the kids have to eat today.
I
That's
They
like
right.
that.
have to. They have to eat. They're not my kids. They're they have technically nothing to do with me, but I'm not gonna let a kid go
Yeah.
hungry. If
He's
I'm
created a
here, if I
bond with
have food
them.
for if I have food for tomorrow, a kid down the street's not gonna go hungry."
That sounds like a
Mhm.
lot like you, Jairo.
See?
Yeah.
I think that's where I get it from, but honestly, he's way better than me in that sense, but he's also crazier. Like, dude, I had a little bro, when I was there, I had a little Haitian girl, bro. She's like 4 years old, maybe 5 or something. A little Haitian girl. She walks into the house and she talks to my dad. They always go by and give my dad a hug and stuff before they go and do the classes. So my dad also teaches them, like my dad's wife's a teacher, so she teaches them Spanish so they can like assimilate and stuff and help them out with homework and all that stuff. So
What are they speaking before they speaking Spanish?
Creole, they speak, French. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so they'll go over there, and so the little girl comes up to us with her broken Spanish, and she says that her stomach hurts, and this is in the morning, this is around, like, 10 or something like that. I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" It's like, "Oh, my stomach hurts." Like, "Oh, well, what did you eat this morning?" And she goes, "Nothing."
Yeah.
It's like so she had, like, at 10 o'clock, she's been up and running around since, like, 6 in the morning, she hasn't eaten anything, and she's, like, 4.
Yeah.
And we said, "Well." So my dad's like, "No, no, no, go to the kitchen here," and he tells us, "Why no, go get this little girl some food." And she's like, "Come on, let me get you some food." And the little girl goes to the kitchen. We're hanging out, and she says, "Oh, let's get you some food." And she said, "Azúcar," which means sugar, and then she makes that noise because her mom in the morning would feed her a packet of sugar. So she'll open the sugar,
Mm.
and that's the sound that it does when it lands on your tongue.
Yeah.
So as a little girl,
Um,
she goes, "Oh, just give me a sugar packet. Like, that's what I eat for breakfast, anyways." And we're
yeah.
like, "Nah, bro, you're eating like real food. Like it's just rice and
Yeah.
beans and stuff and cook some
Yeah.
cologne for you." But that's like super common over there. And those people like and a lot of the times, bro, these people are not they're not good to you, but my dad's still good to them. So meaning that they'll come by, they'll steal stuff from the house if you let them in. They don't care because they're not thinking that way. They don't have anything. They're just in another world. But my dad's like, "Hey, look, make sure they don't steal shit from here, but we gotta feed them. We gotta take care of them." He takes them to the dentist, make sure they're doing good. You know what I mean? Like just all the little things because that's how you're supposed to be with people. That's how it's supposed to be with the tribe, right? And like when you said, okay, you know, you feel like you're raising your kid by yourself in a sense when you're there sitting those hours. Over there, it's not like that, bro. You have like 8 people in the room hanging out with you, talking to you, and you know what I mean, just hanging out with a kid and just doing this thing to
It
socialize, like
takes
that we
a
all need.
village is a
Yeah, we're supposed
real
to be in a
thing
pack,
out there.
bro. We're
Yeah,
supposed to be in a pack. That's what it is. Those are the things that I learned from Caesar. I'm like, I pay attention to that, and then I just attach it to the reality that I see out there. Because over there, they're
Yeah.
more natural, simple, and profound than over here. We're stuck in intellectual for sure,
definitely.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you don't want everybody watching your kid, because in America, we're like, "Do you trust it? Who do you trust?"
Yeah, who do you trust? You're like, bro, we're all here. Like, oh, you're fine. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
over there in Dominican Republic, if I'm chilling in my house, somebody would just come and knock on my door. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just drinking some coffee. Let's hang out. And they just show up and just start talking to me. That's just what they
Some
do. Oh, let's
stranger.
sit around and drink coffee. Oh, let's have a beer and just talk. And that's what they do.
I
Like
like
it's
that.
just a different world, and it trips
Yeah.
me out. Yeah, remember
Oh,
what I was telling you about Dominic and you go to Dominican Republic, there's a like where I'm from the capital, I'm from the city, I'm like it's like bad and it's very, very crowded, right? And you're driving and there's cars like almost hitting you, right? You got all that shit going on. Guess what, bro? No road rage. Zero road rage. No, nobody's jumping out of the car, fighting with each other because they have
mm,
acceptance. They have accepted that this is a situation that they're in and that bitching about it is not even gonna help a little bit.
I like
So
that.
yeah,
they just drive. Oh, somebody almost hit me. Oh, well, at least he
yeah,
didn't. Oh, somebody hit
yeah,
me. Oh, the car's not that bad. Do you see what I'm
yeah,
That's
saying?
how it is in New
That's how
York
they
too, just with road
yeah, and
rage.
you accept it. Yeah, you accept it. But even over there, look, like, I'm gonna show you like the difference between Florida and New York. Like we had a lot of New Yorkers move down here in 2020, trying to. They're like, oh, we're gonna go to Florida, be in a free state. I'm like, well, good luck, right?
Yeah.
So they come down here. A lot of them moved back, by the way, but they came down here, and the first advice I would always tell them, I'm like, don't honk your horn at people.
Yeah.
Why? Because here, like in New York, what do they do? Get the fuck out of the way. Yeah, fuck you. And then just carry on and everything is fine. Like over here, you
yeah,
honk your horn, the dude will stop the car and come out and try to shoot you because they're
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, because we're in the
yeah,
South and this is a dirty South. You know what I mean? So
mhm,
I see that. I see New York and then I see Dominican Republic and I see like the difference. And I'm like, bro, like, these people have it way worse than any of these people. Nobody's flipping out, cursing at each other, yelling at just
Happier?
none of that. Just happier in general with nothing. And that's the trippy part.
Yeah, even that little girl, she had nothing in her, she couldn't connect the dots why she was hungry or why
Yeah.
her stomach hurt, right?
Yeah. She just said, "My stomach hurt." You know what I mean? And it's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't eat anything, but it's okay. Just give me a sugar packet."
At 2.5 hours, Shepherd's gotta eat. I couldn't I
It's gonna be
couldn't
on it, on it, on it, on
yeah,
it.
I
Bro,
couldn't
over there,
imagine that.
like I said, and it's a situation, and like, I wanna blame the parents and blame this and that, but I just blame the situation because honestly, I think that we will all be that person if we were in that situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
mhm,
Like I know
mhm,
that's why they remember when everybody says, "Hey, remember the Nazis." Like when they say remember the Nazis, well, they're not saying it because like, look, these people were mean. It's like because they were normal people. You
yeah,
see what I'm saying? That you can slowly convince to suddenly just, kill 6 million Jews. You can do it.
Crazy.
It's doable. So just remember that lesson that these were normal people. These were monsters or aliens. These were people like you and I. And you put us
uh-huh.
in that same situation, we might fuck around and do the same thing.
Yeah, it's
It's a good lesson.
Yep.
the
True.
environment is definitely very important on the way people are gonna react and kind of base their future decisions on. You know what I mean? Even like
Mhm.
he can be pushed like just psychologically and socially to do stuff like that under other circumstances you would never do.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm seeing that a lot right now, but that's that's for
yeah,
another podcast.
I know you can go on and on and on, but you can
Hey
create
man,
your own
there's
podcast.
a
I
difference
told you to
between
create a
laws and
podcast.
morality, my friend. There's a difference between laws and morality. You know what I mean? And
That
like
is true.
picking somebody up who's out here trying to save their family by working their ass off and some picking fruits for us or some shit like that, and then picking them up and throwing them into a detention center in the fucking Everglades, Alligator Alley, which by the way is illegal. But doing shit like that, like that's immoral, even though it's lawful.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
Sometimes you
no.
gotta, you know what I mean? Sometimes that's
The
how things are, bro.
the Stoics say no matter the law or if somebody's watching or social pressure or whatever, you should always do the right thing, no matter what it
Hmm.
is. You know what I mean? That's kind of like, and that's how you should try to live your life. Hopefully you
For
have
sure.
true good values inside of you, most people, I want to say, have good intentions, dude. Even
I'd say so
even the
too.
people that are turned into Nazis, in their mind, they
Hmm.
think they're doing the right
They're doing the
thing.
right thing. Correct.
That's why
Correct.
that's why they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, because you
Hmm.
think you're doing the right thing, but you're like that's one of the worst things in the world, is think you're doing the right thing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, because you're doing a righteous cause. You're doing something
Yes,
good, but you're
exactly. The
actually doing
righteousness.
bad in the long run. And everybody's like, "Hey, bro, like it feels right." I
Yeah,
mean, look,
yeah,
every drug addict, they feel good when they do certain things. You know
Crazy.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
I was just
But
thinking
in the
that.
long run, it's no bueno.
yeah, yeah,
You mess your
yeah.
whole life up.
That's right.
That's a trip.
All right. Well, looks like we're at an hour for
Hey,
Monet
thanks for
over
coming on,
here,
buddy. I really
and
appreciate that. That's awesome.
For
and
sure, brother.
Ben and
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah, we love you. I definitely want to have you back again sometime. I know we barely talked about dogs, but we did have moments. But
What's up? You have any
you
dog
are
questions? What's up? I got dog answers, bro. What do you know?
Hey,
What do you
you
want to know
remember
okay.
about
Pop
Real
Pop,
dogs?
quick,
right? Pop Pop.
Of course. Of course. I do.
real
I do it with
quick.
my dog all the time, and it doesn't even work.
Give me
God.
one more Caesar. Give me one more Caesar. You do it all the time. It doesn't even work.
Yeah.
Give me one
I'm like,
more. Give me one more Caesarism you learned from him that
Caesar,
blew your
look,
mind.
Caesarisms. Let's see. One of the things that did blow my mind. I mean, he said a lot of cool stuff, but it's one thing that I saw him do one time that fucked me up a little bit. And I think it fucked up a lot of people in the room at the time too, because I've heard this over and over again. But there was a lady who had a dog, and I don't know if you guys remember this. But she had a dog that was trying to kill small dogs. Do you
Hmm.
know what I'm talking about? So this
Yeah.
dog, it was a big dog, I have some mutt or
Yeah, it
something.
was, what was
Yeah,
an
but it was
Akita, right?
it was some no, it was another one. It was before that. But this dog was trying to literally whenever I saw a little dog, it would start barking and flip out, and she has to hold and fucking grab him. So this it was a female dog, and she would flip out every time. And Caesar looked at the dog and said, "That dog is trying to kill dogs." It's like, yeah, all the little dogs. It tries to attack all the little dogs. It's like, huh, bring me a little dog. And he brought one of his little dogs out, and he grabbed the dog and he put it on the floor. And the other dog saw this little dog and started flipping out. And she goes, "You see, Caesar, this is how she gets. This is how she gets." And Caesar said, "Drop the leash." And the lady said, "What?" And everybody's butthole got tight. And he said, "Drop the leash. Don't worry about it. Drop the leash." And the dog whispered, "Whatever." Boom. They drop the leash. And that dog runs towards that little dog. And then it stopped right next to it, sniffed, wiggled his tail, and then walked right back to the lady. And my brain didn't understand what happened. And the trainers there, I'm talking about guys that have been with him for 10 years, are sitting there going, they're looking at me like, "Bro, did you just see? Did you get that?" I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" And he goes, "That dog's barks and his noises come from sadness. And it wants to make sure that that little dog is safe because it was supposed to be a mother that possibly could have lost his puppies or had the puppies taken away early. So whenever it
Early.
sees a little dog, it wants to make sure it's safe, right?"
It's crazy how he could hear the pitch and tone of a bark and know. That's when the other time he said drop the leash was it was like it was when he told Yoa to drop the leash, that, and like it was some crazy dog. Yoa was going to correct the dog, and Caesar said drop the leash, and he's like, he ended up dropping the leash. Dog went up, smelled, same thing. It was puppies. It was
Mhm.
yeah, but this was, I think, over by it wasn't in the tent, I don't think. This
No,
was
this one,
like
the one
on the
that they did was on the stage with the lady, and
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
yeah, it
it's
was
happened
crazy.
twice where he
Yeah,
blew
like
the
three
trainers
times, four
away.
times, like crazy.
Yeah, like that,
That's
where he's like,
crazy.
drop the leash, and everyone's like, what? And yeah, that's he can tell just by the intonation of the bark, dude.
Hmm?
He is on another level, bro. You know what I mean? That
Definitely. I've I've
he
learned
is
little things of the barks with him, like that helped me out a lot. Like for example, Country Inn. When I would walk into Country Inn, sometimes I walk in, there's some dogs I don't know, and I'm over there to take pictures of these dogs, and some of them start barking at me, and I listen to the bark, and I go, "That dog's not gonna do anything to me," and I just walk in. bro, a pit bull with a head bigger than mine, and this is a big dome I got over here, boys. And this dog comes up to me and it's literally and does that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that dog's not gonna do anything, bro.
Yeah.
I
He's
just
more
walk
scared.
in.
It's a nervous bark. That's what it is, you
Yeah.
know?
It's a
Yeah.
it's like, oh, what's that? You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, you're not gonna do anything, bro. Here, sniff me, sniff this camera. Let's go take some pictures. We do
Let's
that,
do
and then
this.
we take some pictures. And then we take some
That's
pictures of
awesome.
dogs, boys. That's how the game goes.
That's what he does with the people too. He goes,
Oh,
that
he
person's
blows
just
your
he
mind.
goes,
He
that person's
blows
just nervous. Let me go over there.
They're fine.
uh-huh.
Yeah, they're fine.
Like,
I
give
got
a
a
little
dude, I got a problem. I think I'm too direct with people. Like people walk into my store. The dude's missing an arm, right? I walk up to him like, bro, what's up with your arm, bro? What are you missing an arm for?
You're so
And
passionate.
they've never had anybody approach him like that.
It
So they
well, it goes back
immediately
to I think
get hyped up about it. They're like, dude, you don't even know, bro. You should have seen it. I was playing with some fireworks. I'm like, yeah, dude.
Oh, that's the worst way. That's the worst
Yeah.
one.
well, it goes
And
Fireworks.
his
back to the
friend,
whole thing with you and the cancer. You're like, please just treat us like a normal person. Like, and that makes you
that's all we
feel
want to
like
do.
it disarms you in a sense, dude. Like, so it's you're doing the same thing that you were suggesting earlier, but it's exactly the same except completely
Sometimes
different.
if you want to like activate somebody like a different response, you have to ask them something different. You know, I remember
Always.
when it comes to sales, right? When you're standing in a store and somebody walks in and goes, "How may I help you?" "Oh, I'm doing good, just looking around." They always say that.
Uh-huh.
But if you ask them another question of some sort,
That
suddenly
follow up.
things start coming out.
It catches them off guard. They have to think for a second. Once you have to think, then you're already engaged.
I look
You
at
know
your
what I mean?
shirt. I'm like, bro, this is a dope ass shirt. I love this shirt. Like, where'd you get it, bro? What's the story
Oh,
with
this
this
is
shirt?
Art's shirt
You
right
see, like
here,
that. You see, this is how you
and
treat it.
then
This is how you treat it.
yeah, bro. All
You see,
right, well, we're at an
information starts
hour.
coming out.
I love you. I love you, brother.
Love
We'll
you
do
guys
this
too, bro.
again, and
Yeah,
thank you everybody for watching.
yeah,
We'll
yeah,
catch you next time,
yeah.
and peace out, guys.
Appreciate you.